It's every time I say that, though, you always say something like, I'm not ready, or you just made a really good joke. You should have been recording that. So,
well, that's,
you know how it goes.
I don't make really good jokes. Most of my jokes are stupid, and you know it.
That's true.
You just have a really easy sense
low
of humor.
bar.
No, honestly, if you were an audience for a comedian, you're like a hooker.
Okay, elaborate.
Well, I mean, you're so easy to make laugh. You're not a good
I thought
judge.
you were going to go, I'm so easy to make fun of.
No, to make laugh, because you're. I think mainly it's because you're polite. I don't think it's because you think it's
I'm
that
a polite
funny.
laugher.
You're like a polite clapper too. I bet you do that even when you think the show isn't that good.
That's true. That's very true. So, John, something very big happened yesterday, I think. Well, it's yesterday for us. It'll be 2 days ago for our audience.
Yeah, because this is almost like in real time, right?
Almost. Yeah. We wanted to say a few things and keep this episode short. But, buddy, I wanted to wish you a belated. I wished you a happy birthday on your birthday, but today a belated birthday.
Well, thank you.
Happy birthday.
Thank you. It was a really good day. It was fun because we got to go visit my family at my mother's house, who is 90, almost 91 years old, and she really is in great health and truly blessed. But unfortunately, she is struggling with a cold, much like I have been lately, it seems like. And anyway, so she wasn't at the top of her game, but pretty darn close, even when she had a bad day.
You're not supposed to give that away as a present on Christmas.
I know. I would have wrapped it. Here's a Kleenex, Mom. Merry Christmas.
If you would have only known.
I know, exactly. But it's always fun because, so selfishly, my family gets together and we all celebrating Christmas, of course, and they all sing happy birthday to me, and they're quite if not amazing voices, they are loud. And so that always makes it fun. So yeah, it was a very fun day.
People say that about me too. Not the good voices part, but the loud part.
I think you are a better singer than you give yourself credit for.
Well, I was taught a long time ago never to say I can't sing. I can sing, just not very well.
Well, I think that you would have done very well on Star Search.
Well, that's yeah. Wow. Flashback. Anyway,
I know.
Like I said at the head, I want to keep this short because I doubt too many people are going to be listening to a podcast this week.
You never know.
They probably catch up later. You never know. It's one of those things. A lot of travel happens this week, and it'd be a good time too. Yep. But they're probably not going to listen to ours. So I just wanted to wish our audience.
You should have said that if you meant it from the start.
I was being
we'll all
polite.
be listening to the podcast. Oh, yours? Oh, well, probably not.
Yeah, right. Well, I wanted to wish everyone a very Merry Christmas and a happy holiday season. And from us to you, I hope that your travels are safe and that you all enjoy this time with your family. It has been, I don't know about you, John, but for me, it's been an absolute pleasure and honor to not only do this podcast, but to be your friend this year and really get to know you as well as I have. And I feel truly blessed that I've had that opportunity. So thank you.
How nice of you to say that.
Do I? Well, I'm sure you'll come up with something.
Of you to say that.
Oh.
Well.
I thought you said, how am I going to follow that up?
I'm a little shocked that you had to print it out on a piece of paper to make sure you said it right.
I didn't print that part out.
Whatever.
You want to see what I printed? I said, short show, just want to wish everyone a Merry Xmas and Happy Holiday. I even put Xmas.
Wow, because you're trying to save space.
Exactly. I still used up the whole line.
Well, thank you. I will echo your sentiments that it has been a really good year, and I truly have enjoyed doing these with you, and getting to know you is a little scary because you're kind of weird.
A little. That's a lot better than what most people say.
But I enjoy that, so we're all good. But I've been delighted to get to know your family a little bit, and including Craig, who is a hoot, and
who will be here in about an hour.
I that's why I wanted to make sure I said it. You are going to be living that podcast that we did with Craig. for the next couple of days, maybe. And let me say that I would also like to say it's been a great year, and it's been fun getting to know you a little bit more. And even though I've always known you work-wise, it's totally different in this environment, which is awesome.
Yeah, you know all my deep, dark secrets.
Well, I do now.
Yeah.
But I've gotten to know your family, and as I said, we talked about how much fun it was with Craig, and talking to Peyton and getting to know her, and it's really been fun and informational, of course, but also very enjoyable for me. So
likewise, and I think next year you and I had planned to have Jen and Lisa on as guests.
For sure, maybe just not together, because that scares me a little.
Well, then they'll have their own show.
The
PoddiMouths Wives Edition.
I would prefer that, actually. Then we wouldn't have to work so hard.
That's true.
Yeah.
That's very, very true. That'll be my New Year's resolution, not work so hard.
So I thought you meant
we got to be careful because all of our bosses listen to this.
Well, that's true, but you could say the idea. I still think our bosses would applaud us if we would say that we would love to get our wives to do their own podcast, make them famous rather than us. And then, of course, what we would not say is that our real goal is you and I living by a pool, retired someplace.
Right, exactly.
Maybe not holding hands, but
we just won't say that out loud.
Yeah, sorry.
We don't want them to know.
I think they know already, and if they don't know, they deserve to. We want our wives to be rich and famous. We want to lie by a pool.
Yes, yeah, exactly.
Yes.
Not the beach, a pool.
No, pool, because I don't like sand in the
That's what I'm saying. Not a beach.
Fingers. Right. Yep.
Yeah, because life's already a beach. Anyway, hey, John, okay, wow. So before because like I said, we're going to keep it short. Just wanted to wish everyone a happy holiday season. I did send, by the way, Stephen was on our one of our not first episodes, but an earlier I think it was number 24, 25, something like that. So halfway through. And I just have to share. So I have Bitmojis on my phone, which is the little thing that looks like me, the character. And then it comes up with some really funny things. And I saw this, and the very first thing I sent it to a couple people after this, but the very first person I had to send it to was Steven, because he would totally appreciate it. It's me with my hands in the air, and it says, "Happy non-denominational holidays." I just thought that was hilarious. Well, so anyway,
let's quickly touch on that, because I think it's perfectly appropriate to wish other people something from what you celebrate. So if it is absolutely okay for someone who is Jewish, for example, to say Happy Hanukkah to me.
Absolutely. I'm 100% agree.
I'm never offended by that. Or if I have any of my Jewish friends, if I say Merry Christmas, they're never going to take offense to that. So we always try to say, well, don't forget Kwanzaa. Don't forget Kwanzaa. And that's fine, but I don't celebrate that. I think it's more from the heart when you say, this is what I celebrate. I just want to wish you happiness from me and, what we celebrate at this time of the year.
Absolutely. I 100% agree. And Happy Holidays is one of those to kind of.
I think it's all encompassing. That's fine.
I think that's, so I usually say Merry Christmas, Happy Holidays.
Yeah.
So because I agree, I want to hear Merry Christmas. I celebrate Christmas. I want to be, it's not about the words. It's not about the celebration. It's about me caring enough about the person I'm saying that to wish them happiness.
Yeah.
Period. And I hate to get political, but.
Well, and it seems more heartfelt rather than trying to make it, perfect for everyone. I'm not wishing it to everyone necessarily. I want people to have an enjoyable season, but that it's kind of on them. Nothing I say is going to change that.
100%. So anyway, but I'm throwing that out there. Merry Christmas, everybody. From John, from myself.
Merry Christmas. Happy holidays. Happiness. May happiness come your way. Hey, you know what we never say? This is what I want to start. A new thing where we send it on greetings, but to actually physically say it, I want to come up to people and say, hey, season's greetings.
Okay, you start doing that, and I will. I'll see how it goes.
Okay, support me with that. I think it would be great.
You
hey,
from
Mom,
a distance.
Season's greetings.
There
rather
you go.
than the other.
I love it.
holiday greetings. We do. It's on all the cards. Nobody ever says it though.
Right. So when we got to when we talked about Halloween, we talked about our favorite Halloween movies.
Yep.
Some of them. I'm interested, before we go, to hear some of your favorite Christmas movies, because that's one thing we do. As soon as it hits the Christmas season, we start watching 30 Days of Christmas movies. A little bit more than 30 Days of Christmas movies. So I'm just interested. What some are your favorites?
I mean, there are the standards, and I would count this as a standard. Christmas Vacation is probably one of my all-time favorites.
Absolutely.
Yeah. And that's probably a gimme.
Movie.
That's an easy one. But I even
I send you? I sent you a post.
Oh, you did?
I no, not a post. It was a post. I sent you? They have the signs up, the digital signs on the freeways in Nashville right now. I don't know if it's all of Tennessee, but it's definitely in Nashville, and it says, "Hey Clark, Cousin Eddie says that Twitter's full. Put the phone down."
All right.
Yeah.
No, that's awesome.
Anyway, go ahead. I'm sorry. I didn't mean to interrupt. I just had to get that in there.
Yeah, Twitter's full. My nephew has a Christmas party every year. And last year, the theme was Christmas Vacation. And this guy who attended the party, it was awesome. Came with the, Cousin Eddie's hat and his shorty robe. And oh my gosh, it was priceless.
That's awesome.
And so just fun stuff like that when you think about how that movie has expanded into culture, I guess, for some people.
Absolutely. Yeah.
How about you? Movies? What's your favorite from the top?
Well, before I let you go, before I tell you that, when we used to have the Windows machines where you could change your startup tones and your shutdown tones, I actually had the snippet of Clark doing the after he got his bonus jams.
Yes.
That rotten, no good, blah, blah, blah.
Jelly. The jelly of the month club.
Jelly of the month club. Yeah. I had that as my startup for my Windows machine. And that was, I love that. Anyway, I have several favorites.
Okay.
And some people up until recently argued about one of them even being a Christmas movie, but I have always thought it was a Christmas
Die Hard.
movie. No. Good call though. No, that is a good Christmas movie, but the movies that we watch a bunch of them. So I can't say any are my number one favorite, but we go through and watch The Holiday with Cameron Diaz and Kate Winslet. We watch Love Actually, which is the one I was talking about. People don't think it's a Christmas movie. I 100% think it is. Obviously Christmas Vacation. That's a big one. What else? There are a few newer ones. That one with Kurt Russell, where he plays Santa. It's one of my daughter's favorites, so we watched that one. White Christmas. We have to watch White Christmas every year.
Russell, where?
Yeah, it's something. I'll look it up. It's something. It came out last year, and I think it's going to be a holiday classic. It's really, really good. He's kind of a rock and roll Santa.
The Christmas Chronicles.
Christmas Chronicles. That's it. And then, of course, you have to watch Home Alone. You have to watch Home Alone 1 and Home Alone 2. We don't watch Home Alone 3. So those are kind of the staples right there. The ones we have to watch every year.
You know what?
But then, of course, you've got Rudolph.
Have they become tradition in your family?
They have. Yes, they have. And also the Grinch. This is the first year we've watched the new Grinch, obviously, because it just came out. But we've watched that Grinch. We'll watch the Jim Carrey Grinch one of these days soon, and we'll probably watch the original at least once.
I lean toward the original, although as much as I would not agree with him politically, I would say that Jim Carrey was brilliant.
Absolutely.
As the Grinch. You just cannot. I don't think you can deny that.
No.
Okay, so those are some good ones, and I'm actually making a list because, as you were saying, I've never seen Christmas Chronicles. Would kind of like to see it. I still like the Santa Claus with Tim Allen.
Oh yeah, I forgot about that one. Yep, we just watched. I didn't watch that one, but I know Peyton and Jen did while I was working.
Yeah, it's a fun movie. How about Elf?
It is.
I've watched it once, but it's not like a standard. Some people have turned it into a cult classic.
Jen and Peyton love the Elf.
Okay.
I have a tough time. I respect him. I think he has great qualities. I am just not a Will Ferrell fan.
Okay, so I loved him in Anchorman. I think that was beautiful casting, and I think he played it very well, and he had a wonderful supporting cast. Anchorman 2.
No doubt that he's an incredible talent and he's incredibly funny for what he is, but it's
There's
too much for
something
me.
about every character that he plays that it's kind of a oh gosh, it's kind of like Adam Sandler to me. He he brings something to every character he plays, and
Mhm.
either you embrace that or you don't. I don't.
Right.
We'll keep it at that level, but I totally agree. He's a terrific talent, and he's worth a lot more money than I am. Probably not as much as you, but it's probably close.
It's very close. I mean, we talk about it all the time. I mean, we're friends. He just lives next door.
I'm sure.
I have a problem with over the top comedy. I can only put up with it for a little bit. Even Jim Carrey, who I agree is absolutely brilliant, I can't stand him for too long either, unless it's something. He does have some serious stuff, which is good.
Yep.
But yeah, over the top, I'm not. I like British comedy because it's very subtle.
Yep.
In a lot of ways, so that's kind of my bag.
Yep.
But no denying he's a genius.
Yeah. Okay, so that's Elf.
Mm-hmm.
How about the old class? It's a Wonderful Life.
Haven't really gotten into that. I've never been able to watch that all the way through and just really enjoy it. Not like White Christmas, and I know they're of kind of. I mean, White Christmas is a little bit newer, but it's not a family tradition. How about you?
It's kind of been, I guess, off and on in our family. It's a one that we've watched over the years quite a bit, and so yeah, I enjoy it. It's I mean, it's way old school. So if you haven't if you like to take a little trip back in time, it makes it kind of fun. But it's still a good message, I think.
Yeah. So now this isn't a movie we're going to watch every year. I'm surprised we even watched it yesterday, but on I think it was Amazon Prime. Last night we actually sat down and watched a Victorian Christmas, a traditional Victorian Christmas, and it's
Really?
a documentary, or no,
Mhm.
it's kind of a mixture between a documentary and a reality TV.
Mhm.
And it was British, and it was people dressed in period costume that were recreating a Victorian Christmas. So they started in June or July and worked all the way up until Christmas and would put on a traditional Christmas of the age of that era.
Wow.
And it was fascinating, but it was also 2 hours and 45 minutes long. I was
Wow.
asleep halfway through it, but normally, and I'm getting around to something important, I guess, not really important. It is the potty mouths. That I turned it on expecting Peyton to say, no, I don't want to watch it. And 5 minutes in, I said, do you still want to watch it? And she's like, yeah. So that's why we watched a 2 hour and 45-minute documentary reality show on the Victorian Christmas because she wanted to, which is very strange for my daughter.
Hmm.
So I think coming full circle with that, one of the reasons we haven't watched It's a Wonderful Life is because I think Peyton would get bored with it. She got bored with White Christmas the first few times we watched it.
Mhm.
So we just never tried. But since she watched that and that TV show put me to sleep, it might be time for Peyton to experience A Wonderful Life.
Did she watch that documentary all the way through or no?
All the way through.
She did. Wow,
Yes.
good for her.
Yeah. It was interesting too.
The
parts that I was awake for.
Yeah, you were enthralled.
Yeah. Well, I did have a Christmas Manhattan before I watched it. So
you're a big drinker. I'm surprised that you couldn't handle that.
yeah, I mean, size-wise, yeah, I'm pretty tall and girthy. But yeah. But that's the last thing I wanted to bring up or ask you. Do you have a specific Christmas cocktail or drink that you have to have every year?
Yes, and it's I'm interesting that you say that because I think it's my own tradition. I don't think anybody else, because it's not as big a deal for Lisa, but I bought uh, Tom and Jerry mix.
Oh, I haven't had Tom and Jerry mix in so long.
And I think that's probably what it was. We went several years without having one, and then I thought, you know what? I would love a Tom and Jerry. And if you're not familiar with it, it's like an eggnog based batter that is frozen. And the way I make them is you boil a bunch of water and drop in a scoop of this batter and then put a shot each of brandy and rum.
Mm-hmm.
And then fill it with hot water and garnish it with nutmeg. And oh my gosh,
you're making my mouth water.
Warming your tummy.
I know earlier, because I was having some trouble talking, it sounded like I was drunk, but I haven't had anything yet. And that really makes me want some. I don't think so. I have to look maybe a little bit harder. I don't think they have Tom and Jerry's down here in the South.
Yeah, you're kind of a slave to that if you can find it at the grocery store. I mean, there are recipes to make the stuff. But there's always that concern if it's not pasteurized that,
right.
Is it safe to drink or isn't? I don't know. I think a lot of that's overkill. And I say that as somebody who used to eat cookie batter that my mom was, and I never had a problem. Of course, I'm the guy that used to ride in the windowsill of the car when we were driving. So,
yeah, Jen and I were talking about that a few weeks ago, how different it is now because we're waiting, and not that I want Peyton to grow anymore, but if you look back at her in the back seat, she looks uncomfortable because she's still riding in a car seat because she's too young and too short to sit without it. And then, but I've taken the seat out and just tested it while we're in the garage, and then the seatbelt's cutting her off at the neck. So she still needs it, but it's frustrating because we're just kind of in that in between because she's not comfortable in the back seat anymore. And some of her friends who are a little bit taller than she is are already sitting without a seat, and she's obviously getting a little jealous. But we talked about the fact that we used to just sprawl out in the back seat. And, it was one of my favorite times when I could sit, especially coming home from Christmas, and you just grayed out, coming back from Christmas and being able to sleep in the back seat.
Yes, and I know exactly what you mean because I remember those fold down armrests. I used to ride on top of those.
Nice.
And they were awesome because as a kid, you could see everything. And yes, how times have changed, but I digress.
That's that's what we do. So anyway, sure. But that's one thing. Getting back to the Tom and Jerry things, just really quick. One, I've been really getting into Manhattans lately. I don't know what it is. It's probably time of year. I kind of cycle through things.
Yep.
And I don't. We've talked about this before. I don't drink very much. Neither do you. But it's always nice to have a really good cocktail. And
yep.
I want to bring Tom and Jerry's to the South and introduce that. That's my goal. My next goal. But anyway, John, I wish you and your family a very Merry Christmas and a happy holiday. For the next episode, next week, it will be a classic episode.
Or best of.
Best of. There you go. And so I want to wish everyone a very happy new year. And we'll come back and we'll maybe the first episode of next year, we'll talk about our New Year's resolutions. How's that sound?
Perfect. Let's do it.
All right, man. It has been an absolute pleasure this year. I look forward to 2020 and continuing PoddiMouths, another 52 episodes. This is our 51st episode, but yes. Let's continue the conversation. And if you want to wish anyone on the PoddiMouths network a very Merry Christmas as well, head up to our website, check out our social media links that you can find up there. And also you can go back and listen to all 51 at this point, but 52 episodes of PoddiMouths up there.
Do it.
John, have a wonderful day.
Thanks, buddy. You do the same. Merry Christmas and Happy New Year, everybody.